today we're examining 10 film conspiracy theories that turned out to be true.
I don't believe this.
For this list, we'll be looking at conspiracy theories about movies, Hollywood, and its major players that were later confirmed to be accurate. Were you a believer in the initial theories? Let us know in the comments below. Stormbreaker. Merchandise has delivered many a movie spoiler, and that was the case with Avengers Infinity War. It was rumored that Thor would eventually wield Stormbreaker, a dwarven axe capable of summoning the Bifrost Bridge.
They have a name? Stormbreaker.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
A Funko Pop of Thor was leaked shortly before the movie's theatrical release, and wouldn't you know it, he was wielding Stormbreaker. Another LEGO playset spoiled the Nidavellir subplot, complete with auxiliary pod of the Benatar and Groot holding the handle of Stormbreaker. Needless to say, some viewers were not surprised when Thor finally got his hand on the legendary weapon.
I told you. You die for that.
Destroyed props. With its thought-provoking story, pioneering visual effects, and incredible art direction, 2001: A Space Odyssey is director Stanley Kubrick's magnum opus.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Most of the props and miniatures have never been seen again. That's because Kubrick had them destroyed. It sounds like a conspiracy theory about an auteur director doing something eccentric, but in this case, the story's real.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Yep, Kubrick had everything destroyed after filming was completed so that other filmmakers and studios couldn't steal his creations. However, a few items survived, including the Ares 1B Translunar Space Shuttle, which sold in 2015 for $344,000.
Hey, this conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
An illegitimate child. On May 9th, 2011, Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife of 25 years, Maria Shriver, separated. Immediately, people began speculating.
A week ago, their 25-year marriage, including 7 years as the first couple of California, came to an end with a whimper.
There was rumor that Schwarzenegger had fathered an illegitimate child with his longtime housekeeper, Mildred Baina. Turns out, this rumor was accurate. Just 1 week after the announcement, the Los Angeles Times revealed that Schwarzenegger's secret son was born in the mid-90s.
More than a decade ago, he secretly fathered a child with a household employee.
Shriver suspected this and confronted Baina, who confirmed the story. She then approached Schwarzenegger, leading to their separation.
It's just one of the disaster situations that I've created, and it's the worst thing that I've ever done.
Spider-Man. Fans were over the moon when the MCU started introducing the idea of the multiverse.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Peter Parker.
That's not possible.
I am Spider-Man in my world.
The excitement reached a fever pitch when in December 2020, Collider reported that Andrew Garfield and potentially Tobey Maguire would appear in the upcoming No Way Home. However, Spider-Man Tom Holland was adamant that they were not in the film, and Garfield repeatedly denied his involvement. Of course, few believed them.
I just have this sense that he needs my help.
Our help.
And sure enough, they had substantial cameos in the movie, adding buckets of nostalgia to the adventure.
Like, does it just come out of your wrists, or does it come out of anywhere else?
Only the wrist.
Brangelina. In the mid-2000s, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie starred in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, an action comedy about married assassins ordered to kill each other.
Don't! Come on!
At the same time, Pitt was in a very public relationship with Jennifer Aniston, whom he married in 2000.
One thing Brad would always say to me is, you know what, we're just gonna do the best we can.
They separated in January 2005, and a few months later, Pitt accompanied Jolie to Kenya. This led to speculation that they were now a couple, which was confirmed when Jolie announced she was pregnant with Pitt's child, who was born in May 2006. It also led to allegations that Pitt had had an affair with Jolie while still married to Aniston. Jolie denied this while admitting that she did fall in love with Pitt while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Doing all right, aren't we?
Buried in the Desert. This is technically about a video game adaptation of a movie, but it's still movie-related, so we're counting it. In December of 1982, Atari released E.T. the Extraterrestrial, based on Spielberg's iconic movie. The game was notoriously terrible and sold poorly, resulting in the video game crash of 1983. An urban legend circulated that unsold cartridges of the game were buried in a New Mexico landfill.
We are going to start digging in a minute.
The claim originated in a 1983 article in the Alamogordo Daily News, which claimed that Atari had buried a large assortment of items. The story was finally confirmed in 2014, when buried cartridges were excavated from the landfill. One of them is now on display at the Smithsonian.
The legend was so awesome, like it's kind of a shame to finally figure it out, right? Like I think it was almost better to be the legend of what it was.
A government mind control program. 1962's The Manchurian Candidate sees Lawrence Harvey playing Raymond Shaw, a U.S. Army sergeant who's brainwashed into becoming a communist assassin.
I wanted a killer, a world filled with killers, and they chose you.
Government programs to control people's minds for nefarious purposes? It's a fun story, but can't possibly be real, right? But the tall tale is closer to reality than some would like to admit.
Raymond Shaw is the kindest, bravest, warmest, most wonderful human being I've ever known.
The novel on which the movie is based was published in 1959. 6 years earlier, the CIA began Project MKUltra, which involved deeply unethical experiments on unsuspecting targets, including military veterans. The project's aim was to establish interrogation and torture techniques using strategies that ranged from psychoactive drugs to electroconvulsive therapy. It remained a secret until 1975 when investigative committees uncovered the truth.
Rain has not only been washed, as they say, it's been dry clean.
The Schneider Cut. 2017's Justice League had a notoriously difficult production.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
Director Zack Snyder had to step away from the director's chair due to the tragic death of his daughter, after which Joss Whedon reshot much of the movie. The budget ballooned to $300 million. Cinematographer Fabian Wagner estimated that only 10% of the material shot with Schneider made it into the film.
Glad I didn't miss this.
So am I.
Yeah. Now she's glad.
Unimpressed fans called for the release of a Schneider Cut. As it turned out, Schneider did have a cut, which he kept on a hard drive and never expected to release. Well, as fans' demand grew, he was given the budget to expand it into a 4-hour epic, released on HBO Max. For the most part, the version was deemed superior to Whedon's theatrical cut.
That's why I brought you together.
The Philadelphia Experiment. The 1984 sci-fi film The Philadelphia Experiment is based on an urban legend. Supposedly, in October 1943, merchant marine Carl M. Allen saw the USS Eldridge turn invisible and disappear from the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard.
The Eldridge is beginning to fade, sir. She's gone.
It allegedly teleported to Virginia and back with harrowing effects on the crew. Most of this story has been debunked, but researcher Jacques Vallée claims that it may hide some truth.
All of this time, he was telling the truth. All of this time, nobody would believe him, only me.
He argues that the Eldridge was confused with the Angstrom, which was docked nearby. The Angstrom reportedly underwent a procedure to decrease its magnetic field, making it invisible to torpedoes. It may also have traveled to Virginia and back in a single day with the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal. Imaginative retellings then warped the facts into the improbable Philadelphia experiment.
The experiment took place on a ship in the Philadelphia harbor. It was 1943, October. Does this sound crazy? Or is this sort of thing possible now?
Abuse in Hollywood. There have been rumors and accusations of sexual abuse in Hollywood for decades. Often they involve powerful men with the power to break or make careers.
The Me Too movement, it is growing this morning.
While some, such as Roman Polanski, were exposed, the misconduct of others basically remained an open secret. In the 2010s, dozens of victims came forward with accusations against several prominent public figures, in particular Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. The accusations against Weinstein launched the #MeToo movement, which revealed horrible abuses inside Hollywood and beyond. It confirmed the worst suspicions that many people had about how the entertainment industry often functioned.
And once 5 women, 10 women, 20 women tell their stories about what's happened to them, it makes other women feel more courage to be able to say, this happened to me too.